Hi, welcome back to It's So Worth It, So Make It. I'm Claudia, and today we are talking about pasta. This is Pasta 101, and today I have with me my lovely niece and assistant, Carmen, and she's going to help me make some great pasta. And we are doing this video by viewer request, so here you go, Maria. Let's make some pasta. All right, so first thing we need to do is get our ingredients together. Okay, now we have all of our ingredients ready to go, and we are going to be making two types of pasta today. Lovely Carmen is going to make for us some regular plain pasta, and I am going to make some really great chocolate dessert pasta. And the techniques are exactly the same. The only thing that's different are the ingredients. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is just get our ingredients together. Huh, Carmen?
Yes.
How many times have we made pasta together?
Once.
Once or twice? 3 times? A bunch of times. We've made pasta a few times together. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. So if you have a buddy, he'll make pasta with you, it's even better. So, all right, I'm just going to put my cocoa powder into my flour. And what are you doing there, Carmen?
I'm going to crack some eggs into my flour.
And how many eggs are you having in your pasta today?
Dose eggs.
Dos eggs? Dos Equis eggs?
2 eggs.
2 eggs. All right. And I have 3 eggs in my pasta, so I will go ahead and crack those. And I just whisked my flour and my cocoa powder together. That way I don't have to whisk it together. Or sift it rather. I whisked mine. And so we're just going to get our ingredients together. And these doughs come together pretty quickly, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they're pretty easy.
Awesome. All right, and I have for my chocolate dessert dough a little bit of coconut oil and vanilla extract along with my 3 eggs. And this is about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. And I wouldn't use an olive oil here because I think the flavor is too strong for a dessert type pasta, but definitely use the olive oil for your plain. Now you could also use coconut oil in your plain, and that's fine too, but don't take the savory into the sweet dessert stuff. So just go ahead and dump that in. And then take our fork, start whisking. Just make like little scrambled eggs in the middle there. And this is so easy to do. And once I learned how to make pasta, I said, I will never buy boxed pasta again. It's too easy to make. And it freezes
so
really
better.
well.
Yeah.
Right? And when it starts coming together, then you can start adding a little bit of water and your oil. And there's no salt in the chocolate recipe. I didn't feel like it needed any when I made it before. And now it's starting to come together. It's getting thicker. And now it's going to be time now for me to add a little water to mine. And just add a little bit of water at a time and mix it up. And if you feel like your dough is not coming together, it's too dry, then add a little bit more water. If you end up adding too much water, don't panic. It's okay. Everything will be fine. Add a little bit more flour until it comes together. It's going to be fine. Okay, and mine needs a little bit more. And I've got about a half a cup at the ready for my pasta. And I'll just keep adding that until you've got some kind of a sticky mess in your bowl. That's kind of what it's going to come down to. And in a moment, you're going to go ahead and dump this out onto the counter. If you're ready to do that, Carmen, go ahead.
Okay.
And then you're going to knead it a little bit. Now, I know there's some of you out there who are saying, oh, I've got to knead dough. Well, yeah, but you could also do this in your KitchenAid. There's no problem with that. I mean, I should have probably done that, but I like to feel my food and play with my food. And this one is particularly fun because it's almost like playing with mud. So I like to do it by hand, but you could definitely do it in a mixer. There's no problem there. So I'm just about to the point now where I'm going to dump this out onto the counter and start kneading it. Yep, I think I'm there. And dump your dough out. And go for it. Oh, my dough is so soft already. I just love it. How does your dough feel?
Feels really kind of sticky.
Kind of sticky. Okay, well, it'll get better. So we're just going to work the dough for a few minutes, and if you wanted to do this in the KitchenAid mixer, just put it on a low speed, maybe 1 or 2, and just let it go for a few minutes until you get a dough that's nice and shiny and very luscious looking. And when you touch it, it'll bounce back just a little bit. All right, so Carmen and I have been kneading our dough for about 5 minutes now, and we're just about there as far as where the dough needs to be in consistency. And when you are finished, you can put it in a nice little cute ball like this. So cute. And you can just leave it there and cover it with some plastic wrap or put it underneath a bowl. Let it rest for at least 30 minutes or an hour. Now, can you make this ahead of time? Yep, make it ahead of time. You can make it in the morning if you want to have it at night, or you can wrap it up and put it in the refrigerator overnight and finish it the next day. No problem. Now, how about freezing this dough? Can you do that? Yes, you can do that, because when you are done actually with processing it through your pasta machine and cutting out your shapes, you absolutely can freeze it at that point too, but you can also freeze it in this form. And just take it out of the freezer the night before, let it defrost in the refrigerator, and the next day you'll be good to go on to the next step. All right, it's been an hour and our dough is ready to go here. And when you feel it after an hour, it's really nice and kind of soft and squishy, and it's almost like Play-Doh, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Play-Doh for adults. Let's just get that out there right now. It's Play-Doh for adults. Okay, so anyway, so we will do this one at a time. And so Carmen will open her Play-Doh, adults Play-Doh, and get it out of its wrapper. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut it into 4 pieces. So if you could get something, you can use that metal one there, that'd be good too. Oh. Yeah. And just cut it into 4ths. And we'll put a little bit of flour down here. And what we're going to make with Carmen's dough is just some plain fettuccine. Now, you can make all kinds of different types of pasta. And here's how you do it. If you want to make a pasta dough that has a color to it and a slight flavor, and I say slight because I've made colored pastas before out of other foods, and I didn't feel that it added a lot of flavor, but it adds beautiful color. So here's how you do that. You follow the recipe for the regular pasta dough, leave out 1 egg, and add up to 1/4 cup of pureed XYZ, whatever it is that you want to add. If you want to have a bright pink dough, you would add pureed beets. If you want to have a spinach, that'll make a green dough. I made mine with kale, and it was really wonderful. If you want to have an orange dough, you could use pureed carrots or pureed pumpkin. Let's see, we also made an herb dough, and what I did there was I left both eggs in the dough and just add a tablespoon of chopped fresh herbs, or you can get herbs that are already in this little tube at the grocery store, and that's great. Just a tablespoon of that. Mix it in with everything else. You're golden. You're good to go. So what Carmen's doing now is she just flattened out 1/4 of her pasta dough, and she is putting it through the first the first setting on your pasta machine there. And now she's going to fold it in half again, or 1/3. You could do that too, and put a little flour on it. And then you're just going to put this through your first setting on your pasta machine about 3 or 4 times, following the same procedure. And after about 6 passes, you're going to be through the entire thing, and you'll have your pasta ready to go. And then your only dilemma will be, how do I fill this stuff? Well, there's lots of things that you can do with pasta. You can cut it the way that we're going to cut it, into fettuccine strips. You can put it through, my pasta machine has an attachment where you can make fettuccine. I find that, though, I'm not entirely pleased with the way it cuts the dough, because I feel like I have to pull it apart a lot. So you can cut it with a knife. You can make these flat sheets and make a ricotta filling, for example, and make little raviolis. You can use meat to use raviolis. I mean, there are so many types of pasta for every country in the world. There's probably, 100 different kinds of pasta. So you can do the math on that. All of them are going to end up delicious. So for our purposes here, we are going to go, let's see, I think maybe one more. What setting are we on now, Carmen?
We are about to do 6.
6. I think that's going to be perfect for some fettuccine. Awesome. Can I pull it for you?
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, I'm not really pulling, I'm just guiding it through there, because if you pull it, you're going to tear your dough, and that's one thing you don't want to do. And look, from that one piece, that 1/4 of the dough, look what we're ending up here with. We are ending up with this awesomely long piece, and it's amazingly good as far as the thickness is concerned, and we're really happy with this, right?
Yeah,
okay, so now since we're going to cut this by hand, we would just put some more flour on here so it doesn't stick to itself. And you just want to go like this and spread it all around. And then Carmen is a professional at this, so I will let her fold it.
Okay.
So fold it into sections. That makes it easier to cut as you're going along. Perfect. Looking great. Yep, go ahead.
Sucker.
Okay, you can use a knife. And just cut it into strips.
I think that's too thick.
That's
Go a little thinner.
That's up to you. I would probably do this one more time
Okay.
because I think that just makes it easier to cut.
Easier, yeah.
Yep. And then you will end up with these really straight, I'm only teasing you, these really great ribbons of pasta, and this is how they look. And after they're all cut, you just want to toss them with a little bit of flour just to make sure that they don't stick to each other, because the first time I made pasta, I didn't do that because I didn't know what I was doing. It was really kind of an exploratory mission on my part, and my pasta stuck together like crazy, and I nearly cried because I just didn't know what to do about the whole thing. And you know, this is part of the learning process. You learn what you're doing wrong and you fix it the next time. So what you definitely want to do is make sure that you have enough flour for the purpose of coating all of your noodles. Okay, so once you've got everything cut out and it's all coated in your flour, you can just put all of these little fun little noodles, and it's just so much fun to do. I just love this. I mean, I could just do that all day. I don't know why, it's just so great. But anyway, once you've got them all covered in the flour, you can just set them on a cookie sheet and let them dry for a little while. And if you're going to eat them right away, as soon as you're done cutting them and separating them, you can put them in a pot of boiling water with a little bit of salt, maybe a teaspoon or so of salt, and they will cook in no time flat. I mean, literally a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes at the most, depending on what kind of pasta you've cut out for yourself. So that's it. Now, if you want to make this to have ahead of time, say you want to have this for next week's dinner sometime, I would just put the flour on it like this, set it on a cookie sheet, let it dry a little bit, and then put that cookie sheet in the freezer and let them freeze in these little piles. And when they are frozen, you can take them off the cookie sheet, put them into a Ziploc bag, and keep them in the freezer until you're ready to use them. And then when you go to cook those, that takes about the same amount of time, really. It's just a couple of minutes in the boiling water, and you're golden. You're good to go. All right, so now we are ready to go, and let me show you how I'm going to fill this. All right, so we made, with our mascarpone cheese and a couple of tablespoons of jam of your choice. I happen to really love raspberries and chocolate together, so I made raspberry and mascarpone cheese for my filling, and it's been in the refrigerator, so I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. And you just need a little tiny bit. I mean, just a little tiny bit. I mean, you know, not even a teaspoonful on this. And you're going to put it in the upper half of the dough. So on that side, because you're going to roll the dough that's back here over it. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. And we'll just make a few here. Carmen, could you please pass me that bowl of water so that we can seal the dough here in a moment? There we go. And then I will let you take over the other half. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, there you go. And while she's doing that, I'm just going to take my brush and a little bit of water. You can make an egg wash for this, but I decided right now, since eggs are astronomically expensive, that I would not use egg wash for that. because it's not completely necessary. But the idea is that you just brush the top part, the very top part of the pasta, and then in between your dollops of delicious filling, just like that. Okay, I think that's good.
You good?
Yep.
No more? Okay.
And then what we want to do is take the back part here of the pasta and you just fold it over and let the tops come together there. So just go like that. And again, and just go down the line and then just get them to touch at the top. Perfect. No problem, right? This is not difficult. Now you can buy yourself one of those little pasta makers for ravioli that looks kind of like an ice cube tray, but I don't think that so many tools are necessary. This is one thing that you can make. You don't necessarily need a tool. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taking my pinkies and sort of cupping the filling inside of the pasta and forcing out some of that extra air because you don't need any air inside there. And so we just kind of go like that. And we go down the line doing this until it's all done. And at the same time, you're pressing down, so you're sealing the pasta to itself while you're getting the air out too. So it's, you know, just taking care of two birds with one stone there. Now that that's done, we can just take our cutter, and at this point you can cut these into different shapes. What I like to do is cookie cutter any shape that you want. This is your food. You don't have to make it, you know, I think typically a square ravioli indicates that there's meat inside. If you want a round ravioli with meat inside, you make yourself a round ravioli with meat inside. You don't have to go by anybody's rules. I want a half moon shaped ravioli with a round cutter. You got a problem with that?
No.
Good.
No problem.
Good. All right.
It tastes the same, right?
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, so we just put it over our ravioli, and you can decide, you know, I think I want to have the red one, so I'm just going to go up a little bit, just because I want a little extra room here for this. And you just press down, and you can just pull it away. If you have enough flour on your board, you can do that. And look what you end up with. It's just so cute. Look at it.
Aww.
And then you want to take it and just press the edges together carefully to seal it, to make sure that everything is sealed. And as I cut them, would you please do that for me, dear?
Yes.
All right. So I'll cut and hand it over. And they're just adorable. And I played with a couple of ways to fold these too. And if you want to make tortellini shape, knock yourself out. Go ahead and do that. There's no problem with that. If you want to make other shapes, this is your food. You can make it any way you want. You make it the way that you're going to enjoy it. And you just continue in this fashion until you have used all of your dough, or until you just get too tired. That works too. And you can make other shapes with the rest of your chocolate dough. You don't have to fill it all. You can make linguine, fettuccine, spaghetti, anything that you like. And just proceed in this manner until they're all done. And I actually like to take my little ravioli. Let me get one that's maybe not got so much flour on it so we can see it better. And instead of making like a tortellini out of it, I just kind of like to just bring these things together here and press them down. And it kind of makes this cute little...
Oh, it looks like a hat.
Yeah, kind of like a hat. And I think it just looks really pretty and cute. So we're going to do those with the rest of these, and then we're going to set up to get them cooking, and we'll be right back. All right, so we've got everything cooked up. It looks absolutely beautiful. Now let's plate our amazing pasta. Shall we, Carmi?
We shall.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and finish yours up.
Okay.
So we just boiled these for a maximum of 3 minutes. Actually, it wasn't even a boil. It was more like a very slow simmer, and just taste it and see if it's too al dente or however you would like it. Then take it out of the water and put it on your plate. Serve it with your favorite sauce and decorate it with some lovely basil, which was, of course, picked fresh out of your garden, and then a little bit of cheese if that's what you'd like. Now, Carmi, please take a bite and tell us how we did.
All right. So good.
it's
So good.
so good when you're wearing it. It really is the best. Awesome. I can't wait to try that because it looks great. But before I do that, I am going to plate my own little adorable little raviolis. And I'm just going to put a few of them down here on my plate. Maybe 3, because you can start off with 3 and then eat more later if you want.
Eat the whole plate.
Yeah, I know. I really should probably make it bigger, but I just like the way that this looks. So I'll just put about 3 of them there on the plate. And then, oh, you know what? Okay, it's all right. I was going to put a little bit of jam down first, but I can still do that. I'll just put it around. A little bit. This acts as your sauce. And if you'd like, and I would highly encourage you to do this, you can thin your jam out a little bit to make your sauce with a little bit of raspberry liqueur, for example. You could put a little water in there if you just want it to be, you know, a non-alcoholic thing. Rum is fine too. You can do that, or any kind of, you know, little something that gives it that little something extra. And for another just piece of decadence here, this is the, you know, I like to cheat when it comes to whipping cream, because whipping your own cream takes a while, and why? It's in the can, so.
And it's more fun.
Yeah, so just a little bit of that in the center. And to make sure that we know this is all raspberries, let's just do a little bit of a raspberry garnish here. And just a touch of mint to finish. And there we have it.
Oh, it's cute.
It is cute, isn't it? I really like it. All right, so moment of truth. I can't take a picture of this beautiful plate. I'll have to make another one. Let's see how it is. You know, I'm just gonna go for the gold here. Yeah. Now, there's no way to be. I mean, you guys know me by now. There's no way to be really ladylike about eating, and I don't care. So let's just go for it.
Good, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Amazing. I love it.
Oh.
Carmi, tell me what you think. Is that good or what? Is that so worth it? Let's make it again?
Yes.
I think we totally
Yes.
should. Now, I want a bite of yours,
Yes, how about it?
of your little pasta here, because I should have had some of this first. But you know what? Life's short. Eat dessert first, right? Ooh,
So good.
it's perfect. So there we go. Homemade pasta. Once you learn how to make homemade pasta, you will never buy the dried stuff at the store again, because it's really easy to do. It's fresh. It tastes,
Tastes better.
oh my gosh, there's really no comparison to this in the box stuff. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
All right, high five, girl. We did awesome. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. And remember, it's so worth it, so make it. Bye.